Hey guys, it's Matt from KA Airsoft, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video. I know it's been a long time since I have brought you one. I've had some camera troubles, I've been away, but today we do have a video for you, and I think you're going to like it. A lot of people have asked me, when you go to a skirmish, what is it that you bring? I mean, you've seen my loadout video and whatnot, but what do you need to go to a real skirmish? I'm not talking about backyard airsoft here. I'm talking about real on a sanctioned field airsoft, and there's a few things that you're going to need. And fair warning, I am going to be ducking in and out of the camera here and there, but I just need to, I have everything in a nice pile here. I have to show it all to you, so I'm just going to start. When you're going to an airsoft war, I'm assuming you're going to need a gun. So I don't know why I'm saying this, but I figured I'd add that in there. Also, maybe a secondary. Having a secondary is very good for tight situations. I use it, so I thought I'd add that in there too. Now let's get into the real stuff. Now you have your guns. What you're going to want to bring, and a lot of people I've seen at airsoft skirmishes show up and they don't know this, you need a gun case, people. It is illegal to carry around guns and not in a gun case. Also, it's stupid. Why would you do that? Bring your guns in a case to the field and take it out only when you're about to play or when you're loading, but keep it in a case for your safety and the safety of others around you. Keep it in a case. Don't scare anyone. And that brings me to my next point. When you're on a field, bring either barrel condoms or barrel covers. They're the same thing, but either way, just bring something that covers your barrel and prevents the accidental discharge and hurting someone around you when you're playing. I haven't seen this happen, but you always want to be safe. So practice safe airsoft. That brings me to my next point. If you're going to be using a gun, you're going to need a battery. So I have a lot of batteries here. And here's some advice. Always bring 2 batteries per gun. And say you have a morning game, charge your batteries the night before. Or if you have an afternoon game, you can get away with charging them that morning. But make sure that all your batteries are fully charged before you get to the field. Never try to charge them at the field. And I don't care if you're using NiCads, NIMS, LiPos, it doesn't matter. Charge all your batteries, get it all out of the way, and you're going to need it. Speaking of which, fast charger. You already have your batteries charged, but who's to say that you might play for hours and hours on end and your batteries might run out of life. You have a fast charger. Also, if someone on your team or your friends need a fast charger, you're the go-to guy. So even if you don't have a fast charger, that's fine. Bring some sort of charger. It's always safe to bring backups. So also, if you're gonna be shooting and playing airsoft, you're gonna need some ammo. So bring a lot of BBs. I have .28s here. I mean 5s. Sorry, .25s. But obviously I'm not saying bring these, but bring a lot of extra ammo. You would not believe how much ammo you go through in a day. It is ridiculous. You could go through bags of BBs when you're playing, especially if you're a sprayer. I'm not so much a sprayer, but if you're doing that, then your BBs are going to be gone instantly. So, if you have BBs, got to bring some speed loaders. So you got your average speed loaders, you've got your gas blowback mag loaders. It's all here. Just bring your speed loaders. You might not think you need them. You think you loaded up everything before, but you're gonna need them. And if you don't, who cares? You brought it. Doesn't matter. Just bring it just in case. Then, if you're gonna have speed loaders and BBs, you're gonna need something to hold them in. Magazines. Bring lots of magazines per gun. If this isn't possible, I highly recommend getting high caps. I use high caps, and I still use to, but that's because my FAL has a ridiculous ROF. But other than that, if you're a mid-cap guy, bring a lot of mid-caps. Just bring plenty of extra magazines. You would not believe how crucial it is to not have to reload on the spot while you're playing airsoft. It is ridiculous. So, those were AEG mags, but say you're using your secondary and you have a gas blowback. This doesn't apply to springers, but just bear with me here. Bring your gas. Bring lots of gas. They probably sell it at the field, but bring your own. You don't want to go around spending all your money on stuff that you could have just bought yourself. So, I mean, just if you're using propane, we use propane. Just make sure you bring your lube for every time you use it to keep your propane tank working. And then, also, if you want to keep your gun running, like your propane tank, gonna need some cleaners. So bring your silicone oils, your unjamming and cleaning rods, and your little paper. Sorry, I don't know the name of them. The little papers that you clean out the barrel with. And when you're running around on an airsoft field, you're rugged and dirty, and so is your gun. So you're gonna want to have these on the spot. You could do it in between games if you're really that anal. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that you're cleaning your gun as necessary, because if you don't clean your gun, that's gonna be a big problem. And a lot of people would call that a tool. That brings us to our next thing. Bring a bunch of tools. I know you're not the airsmith. You're not the guy who's running around completely taking apart guns. You might not be totally, but bring like screwdrivers or pliers or all different kinds of screwdrivers. Just make sure you have all the necessities that you're going to need just in case. If you bring your own stuff and your stuff breaks and you don't know how to use it, offer them your tools. Say, hey, I brought tools. I don't know how to do it myself. Can someone please help me? Because what if they don't have tools? Then you're screwed. You have no gun. So, another thing, bring some duct tape. And you might be asking, what does this have to do with airsoft? It doesn't really have anything to do with like airsoft guns or airsoft cleaning, because if your gun breaks and you're trying to fix it with duct tape, then you have a problem. But something happens, a rip, a tear, I don't know. Just, I think it's useful. I wish I would have had it last time I went, because something pretty bad happened. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, here's something that I advocate, but isn't necessarily necessary. I bring pens every time. I bring pens and markers every time, because you're signing waivers, you're doing all that stuff. Someone might need a pen. Doesn't matter. I bring pens, personally. I would recommend it. I don't know. I mean, you might make fun of me for saying that, but personally I feel like it's a necessary tool. What if someone doesn't have a pen? You need a pen. You're screwed. Your waiver's not signed. You can't play. So, that brings us into our next thing, and this may be one of the most important things I have to talk about. Bring masks. And I'm not talking bring one mask. Unless you know that your mask is 100% perfect, you've used it millions of times, it's completely flawless, bring lots of masks. Bring mesh masks, or bring your mesh masks. I prefer mesh, but a lot of times fields don't let you use mesh. So you bring your mesh, you're not allowed to use it full seal, or full seal but shooting glasses. Just bring a lot of different varieties of masks, because who's to say that they're all going to work out? Who's to say that they're going to fog? And that brings us into our next point. Bring some defog, for God's sakes. You would not believe, I think the number one problem in airsoft is fogging goggles. Other than that, everything usually runs pretty smoothly if you're prepared. So bring some defog. There's spray, there's wipes. Just make sure you do that before. Just let it dry. And also, you're going to need something to carry this in. Bring a backpack, not completely camo to match your thing. It doesn't have to be part of your outfit. Just bring a backpack. You can store all your stuff, and it's easy to carry. It's not just like a duffel bag where you're lugging around. Just throw it over your shoulder when you get there, and then drop it on the floor. Everything you have is in there. It's pretty obvious that you should bring something to carry all this in. So, now, I don't have these things to show you, but I personally feel like they're really important, and you're going to need them. If you're going to an airsoft field, airsoft skirmish, bring boots. I'm telling you this now. It is one of the number one things I think you should bring. You need to wear boots. Do not wear sneakers. Do not wear, I don't care what you're wearing. Just wear boots. I use military surplus boots, steel toe, waterproof. You're going to want something that's going to protect you from the elements, and you're going to need those. Also, another thing, this isn't necessary. I strongly advocate them. Knee pads. Say you can't get knee pads. Say you can't find knee pads that match your camo. I guess you could live without them, but I really think they're useful. You're dropping to the ground. You're hitting the ground. You're dropping behind cover. Knee pads are very useful, and they reduce shock to your knees a lot. So I would recommend them. Also, This brings me back to that point I said earlier about the mishap at the airsoft field. Bring extra clothes. This is a must. Bring shirts, socks, extra pants. Not what you're wearing, just trust me. I went to the last airsoft game we went to. I fell in the creek, and a lot of my camo was actually soaked, and I had no extra clothes. I ended up making a kilt out of shemogs, and that's when I could have used some duct tape, but there you go. There's another reason. Also, bring water and snacks. You're going to get hungry, you're going to get thirsty. They probably have that just for sale at the field, but you really want to go blowing money on water when you could have easily just brought it in your bag. Bring water bottles, bring snacks. Just trust me, you're going to want them. Also, bring money. If all else fails, a lot of the stuff is for sale at the place, the pro shops. Bring a good amount of cash, more than the admissions fee, so you can buy, if something goes wrong, you can buy propane, you can buy silicone, you can buy everything you need. Barrel covers, it's all there. Water, food. Bring money, but I usually use that as a backup plan, because if you use that as your main plan, you're blowing through cash at these places. So those are my tips. That's what I bring to a skirmish. That's what I recommend every airsoft player should bring to a skirmish. So check in for more KA airsoft videos and subscribe, guys.